along the way. There's Eric Akin with his coach, Bobby Douglas. Akin's having a great, he was having a great year at 126.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting. I think that Iowa, of course, wants to get off to a fast start, and Gable's got Mena all pumped up to go against. There's Mike Mena right there going against Aiken, so this will be real good.
Aiken down at 118. Actually, he weighed today something like 117.4, which he said is the lowest weight he's been at since 1988.
When he was a junior in high school.
He really is, obviously it indicates the mindset that he has. There is a famous wrestling name who's refereeing. He came all the way from Harrisburg. All Hall of Famer, Wade Chalice. More pins, I think, than anybody in the history of wrestling.
Oh, he could pin him from any which way, too. He was always dangerous.
Very colorful. And there's another colorful man, Dan Gable, who pinned him also. Sending out his 118-pounder. This ought to be a great one because Aiken is ranked number 2, but Mena of Iowa is ranked number 8. So many times in this series, we've seen the 118-pound class go in an upset one way or another. It sets the tone. We have a lot of people here on a beautiful day. Quite a bit of sunshine, and the crowd is actually late getting here because it was just kind of nice to dawdle outside. There's a high crotch move by Aiken, one of those, a nifty high crotch, but can he turn it into a takedown? Yes, 2-0 Aiken.
Well, what I saw right there was a very focused wrestler that knew what he wanted to do right off the top, and that was to take the action to Mena. And sometimes Mena, he's more of a defensive wrestler on his feet, and that's something they'd like him to improve on. But right here, this is the finish to that, where he gets him down all the way to his all fours there. But Aiken did a nice job there on that single leg.
Aiken ahead 2-0 in first period, 3 minutes long. They all just start on their feet in the first period. Second period is 2 minutes long, and the third period 2 minutes long, as you know. Wade Chalice, the official, as usual for our referees, has a microphone, so you'll be able to hear him talking to the wrestlers and also to the coaches who might want to come out and discuss things with him, as they occasionally do. Aiken riding with a tight waist and a near arm bar.
You know, one thing I've noticed about Eric Akin this year is that in the past he's had a tendency sometimes to let up and have some lapses. I have seen him be more focused this year than ever in his career, and he just seems like he doesn't have any let-ups, and we've talked about this before. That's what makes the difference between the national champion and the runners-up, or those
2-1
those
now
that can get in there with no let-ups.
Here we are in the first period with about a half of the time gone, a minute and a half. Aiken leads Mena 2-1 after a nice high crotch takedown early in the period.
Well, you saw there, Mena was able to stop the shot by Aiken this time. He's good on as far as defensive wrestling, and Coach Gable would like him to come along in his offense and take the shots himself.
There's Bobby Douglas in the foreground who brought this Iowa State team down to Iowa City. Actually, it's the first time since he's been coach at Iowa State that his team has come here. Teams stopped the home and home series a couple of years ago. Last year, the meet was at Iowa State. Mike Mena, 4-time high school champion from Illinois, and a very fine wrestler. Aiken tried to get in on the leg, and there you saw him going for the high crotch again, but Mena this time was looking for it. I got it.
It'll be interesting to see how Chalice calls this as a referee here. Means that there's been about 6 shots of Aiken's to none for Mena.
There's a shot by Mena on the edge of the mat, but a high front headlock counter by Aiken kills that one off with about 30 seconds to go.
You know, from a standpoint of strategy right there, it would probably serve the Iowa wrestler good if he was called for stalling here, because he's a good wrestler, and he needs to just get on the offense there. He's got good shots, and so far Aiken's been taking the shots to Mena.
We have 20 seconds to go in the first period. Eric Akin of Iowa State in the red leads Mike Mena of Iowa 2-1. We're just starting. There's a nice shot by Mena, but Aiken, with his experience and his quickness, was able to stay faced off on it. That was the first real shot that Mena had.
That was off the defense.
End of the first period, 2-1 Aiken. The coaches are up on their feet. There's Dan Gable at the edge of the mat, exhorting his wrestler to go.
You'll be on top, second period.
Look at those titles in his time. What a success.
Where's the riding time?
That's Bobby Douglas of Iowa State.
You wrestle here.
Not only, you were talking about Eric Akin, what he's done to get himself ready to go. go the extra mile.
24 seconds.
Remember when Troop said, he got me going.
That's right.
He got me going. He says, you're gonna beat people from now on really bad. No more 5-4. Aiken started on top. Mena had underneath. Turns in on Aiken, trying to get a reversal. And he has it. Big move by Mena.
Well, that's a real important series right there for Mena because he needed to explode out of there to have any chance in this match, and that's what's going to win it for him if he does. Right here, it will be interesting to see if the weight cut has any effect on Aiken.
Well, it would be interesting. And now what that does is get the crowd into it.
Look at this.
For the first time.
With a nice little switch there, gets into a single leg and gets around for the two-point reversal. And you can almost call locking hands right there. It was close, but you give reaction time.
Actually, you know, Mena has quite a ways to come down to 118, too. He's a big 118-pounder. And Aiken is out. That ties it 3-3. We're in the second period, a 2-minute period. We've used up 30 seconds, and we're even at 3. The only takedown was Aiken's. Again, he tried that high crotch move, couldn't get it. Tie up on the feet.
Now you just feel the momentum changing here a little bit. Mena's creating some action. He's starting to move the head a little bit and get into the ties. And he's looking for a whip over right here. But right now he's got the crowd behind him and he's got Aiken's dauber down to play big.
Well, Aiken was able to go straight in, straight under for that first high crotch takedown. But he hasn't been able to get around the corner, and Mena's been stopping that straight shot. There he went around the corner a little bit.
Now it's going to be interesting to see him finish this.
And that was well done by Aiken for a takedown 5-3.
And that's where Aiken has improved. He's improved technically in the last couple of years to where he's not just using brute force, he has really improved on his technique.
The escape makes it 5-4. Actually, he gave Mena a new look on that single leg to the opposite side.
Here to the little outside single right there, comes up with it. Now as he finishes, he sticks in for the trip behind the back leg, and then he covers the hips and gets him down to the mat for 2 points.
What an important match. 118 pounds. We have 25 seconds to go in the first period. The man in red of Iowa State, Eric Akin, who came down to 118 where he'll be in the Nationals. If everything goes right. Leads 5-4 over Mike Mena, an outstanding number 8 ranked wrestler for the Hawkeyes.
That was a big takedown for Aiken, but I believe he's going to have to score a few more points to win this match.
5-4 in the second period. Now Aiken will go under.
Iowa State selection wants the down position, third period down.
5-4. We'll see what Mena does, whether he's just going to let Aiken up. The riding time is 48 seconds for Aiken. He does not have a point. Remember, at the end of the match, if one wrestler has a minute more on top in the riding position than his opponent, he gets an extra point tacked onto his score. And Aiken is 12 seconds from that. 6-4. Mena wants to go on his feet. He hasn't been able to take Aiken down, but he's counting on it. 6-4. And we'll see who's ready in the third period.
That's right. Because a takedown will determine the winner here right now. It's not going to stay 6-4.
A minute and 38 to go as they come back to the center again. It's the huge opening match with the smallest of the wrestlers at 118 pounds. Now there's a warning against Aiken for stepping back.
Yeah, he stepped back one time in this whole match, and he gets called for stalling. It seems like the referee was considering the time in the match, you know what I'm saying?
In the third period. Aiken will have to make a move here, otherwise I'm sure it's going to happen again. We have a minute and 10 seconds.
I was going to say, right now, Iowa's got the advantage. All Mena has to do is make Aiken look bad, and he's going to get him called for stalling just because of the mindset of the referee. Not necessarily fair, but that's the way it's going to happen. Mena, if he'd just mix it up and get after him, he's got it going.
Aiken was not able to reach, but he did make the shot.
Aiken needs a shot again here.
And obviously so does Mike Mena.
Well, Mike Mena, all he has to do is make him look bad here, and there's going to be a point his way.
6-4. In favor of the man in red, Eric Akin, with 30 seconds to go. Now you can count it down in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Eric Akin has been warned. Now he goes under, gets caught in a front headlock, but clears himself out. So now there's very little time for Mena to score. Front headlock. They're still in. Now they're out of bounds with only 7 seconds to go, and Mena's going to have to come up with a lightning bolt.
Well, Coach Gable wanted Mena to get after him, but really had a minute to do that, and he just wasn't able to take advantage of the situation.
Now, Aiken could even be warned, could even get a stalling point. He did not get it. He wins 6-4. He beat him on his feet.
Shake hands, please. 6-4.
6-4 in favor of Aiken. And Iowa State goes up 3-0 with a win at 118 pounds.